If you want to start a software agency or you've started one already and you're not really growing, like you've hit a plateau, in this video, I want to talk about the importance of niching down because it's something that I did, and automatically when I did it, everything changed for me and my agency. I was able to start winning consistent 50K projects. I knew exactly the audience I was targeting. I knew their pain points. I knew the software stack. I knew everything about that audience because I chose to niche down. So let's get straight into it. If you don't know who I am, my name is George Amin. I've been building software for 15 years and now I run a software agency called Webhouse. I've been doing it for the last 3 years. We've built more than 70 custom systems for many 8-figure companies. The niche that I chose to run with is construction. Let me explain why I chose construction, because maybe you'll see a bit of that in yourself. When I first started my agency, I was very broad. I would tell people that we build custom software for fast growing businesses, right? I worked with around 14 different industries and I didn't have any focus. And what that meant is I was like spread very thin across all of them because every single industry has their own nuances. They have their own software stacks, their own way of working, their own pain points, their own language. Like even the founder, they share similarities. Founders of construction businesses are very different to founders of fintech companies. And when you're dealing with all these different types of industries, it can get overwhelming because the sheer number of software that is out there across all these industries is ludicrous. All the pain points are also not the same from industry A to industry B to industry C. And so it was very challenging for me to grow the business consistently because I was spread so thin. Now, all I had to do was look at all the projects that we have been doing, and we actually did have a majority of our projects coming from one industry, and that happened to be building and construction. So it was a kind of a no-brainer. I already had some case studies building up in that space. And so all I had to do was just change my messaging, make the decision. And now if someone was to ask me what I do, I can start very broad and say we build custom software for businesses, but I can now say that we specialize in building and construction. And that commitment now allowed me to want to get in the room with more building and construction owners. I was thinking about the problems more. I was going a bit deeper into the different software stacks that are used in that industry. And over time, you start positioning yourself as an expert in that space. And the reality is, industries are always going to favor going with the software developer that is an expert in their industry and that can speak their language versus not. I'll give you an example. Scaffolding. I'd never done a scaffolding project before. I never worked with a scaffolding company. When I got my first scaffolding client, and I told them that we're agnostic to industries and what have you, but I told them that we love learning. We love learning about your domain. We want to become an expert in your domain. After just doing one project in scaffolding, I now actually know a lot about scaffolding. So when I approach customer number 2, who is a scaffolding company, I can go in with all this knowledge about how scaffolds are physically built together, like all the components, all these things I was actually learning. Whether they're a hire company or whether they sell scaffolding equipment or if they do labor hire, it's like I was starting to really understand their industry. And that means that every new person I speak to that's in that industry, automatically they're seeing me as a domain expert in their space, and it increases the chances of you to actually close that business. Funnily enough, because I became an expert in scaffolding, I then did a blast email out to other scaffolding companies saying, these are our case studies, this is what we've done. And because I was speaking their language, I had one person actually respond to me from a cold outbound email. And to this day, they remain one of our top clients. They run a scaffolding hire company and they're one of the biggest in the state of New South Wales, where I am based and I live. So from that, I just decided, okay, building construction is going to be my space. That's going to be the place that I want to own. And that's it. I niched down to that. Now, my situation was unique. I had examples already, but if you're just starting out, you have to pick a niche that you have a genuine interest in. For me, engineering and construction, I've always had an interest. I wanted to be an architect my entire life. I have a genuine interest in the physical world and how things get built up. So that was a no-brainer for me. But for you, maybe you're interested in payments, maybe you're interested in finance, maybe you're interested in property. There are so many industries out there. Just pick one that is very large in the market that you're targeting, so your home country ideally, or some large first world market. Pick an industry that you think you can become an expert in. If you've already got expertise in that industry, not even from a software development perspective, but just general expertise in that area, maybe you've worked in the industry before, maybe you've spent 10 years in healthcare, whatever it is, choose the industry, choose the approach that you think is going to give you an unfair advantage in that space. For me, I had an unfair advantage in building and construction. Also, I have a lot of contacts in building and construction, and I knew that I could grow my network and expand that network quite fast. So when picking your niche, make sure, ideally it's something you've got deep experience in already. It's something that you have a genuine interest. And the other most important part is that they are very software dependent as an industry. I'll give you an example. If you wanted to select marketing agencies as your target audience, so I want to build custom software for marketing agencies, they are not software dependent. They also don't even have pain points with software. They're well served using Notion or Go High Level or Monday.com. There's so many software subscriptions out there that marketing agencies use, and they simply do not need custom software. But then on the other hand, you look in construction and you have property maintenance companies using things like Aeroflow, and it's not purpose built for their business, and software powers their entire operation. It's a critical thing that they can't get wrong. That's why building construction for me, it hit the trifecta. I was interested in it. I had past experience in it, and they are very software dependent. So these are typically operationally heavy businesses. You can look at many industries like this. So there could be loan broking, real estate, building and construction, obviously, engineering, like a whole bunch of stuff that you could take a look at. It's going to be unique to you and your position. Once you do all of that, you're going to be in a position where you are now very focused. You are very focused. You're going to increase your likelihood of closing work. It becomes very clear which networking events you need to start attending because you're not spreading yourself thin. I don't have to go to a marketing expo and a building construction expo and a fintech expo. It's like I can pick now my lane and I can go very deep and start looking at all of the different events, meetups, people that I need to shake hands with and kind of rub shoulders with to grow your experience in that niche. So that is the takeaway from the video. Niche down, pick a niche. If you need help with doing any of this, join my free school community below. I also have a link to our pro community where we work with groups weekly. So this is like, we have FaceTime, real FaceTime, where you can bring your current challenges, what niche you're targeting. If you want any assistance with going out there trying to win work, we also help do that. And that's in our pro community, which is a paid community, which I highly recommend you take a look at as well. So links are all below. I've made another video about how to get clients. That was yesterday's video. So check that out if you haven't. And just so you're aware, I'm doing 30 days of posting every single day. This is day number 2. So go back, watch day number 1. All of these 30 days, I can guarantee you, if you want to start a software agency or build one up, these are all going to help you improve your chances and increase the revenue that you can make from software projects. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.